What's up, guys, gals, Book Nook pals? It's Pluck the Bunny with another Book Nook unboxing, and today we're taking a look at the Treasure Toy Shop by Rolife. This is one of their new Book Nooks coming out this month. Okay, I really am excited about this Book Nook to dig into this because this is many of our childhoods, and if you're a younger viewer, you may not really be familiar with the wonder that is a toy store, because these days Toys R Us is gone, KB Toys is gone, FAO Schwartz is gone. There really aren't toy stores the way there used to be. There's like the little, science-directed ones and the developmental, ones you'll see in like the ritzy, gentrified parts of town. But a good old toy store where you go play with a bunch of toys and make your list for the holidays and for your birthday, that just doesn't exist anymore. So let's unwrap and let's get playing with the Treasure Toy Shop by Rolife. All right, so another cool thing about this that I just saw when I was opening it up is it's openable and it's dustproof, which I think means there's going to be a window on that door, and that door is going to open up, so you can have it closed to be dustproof, but you can still open it up and play with all the toys inside, which is really what the feel of a toy store should be. So I'm excited to check that out. And we are packed to the brim here, though. I guess that's probably going to mean, yep, we have the cardboard thing underneath that's hiding all of the goodies, and we're going to dig and get to them first, as we always do. So we have a big old sphere. We have a soft serve ice cream cone. We have a teddy bear. We have a smaller sphere. We have a handle, and then we have these like this fabric tape here that's usually used for binding the wires, which makes me think that the wires are not going to be connected to the battery box, which I see they aren't. So we have our touch sensor here that is already wired to the battery box, right? And then the touch sensor has its own free red and black wire, right? And that red and black wire is open, and it is going to be connected eventually with these two LEDs. And what I'm really liking is they pre-bent these LEDs, so they already come out at a 90. They already come out at a 90-degree angle. So one thing I've noticed is, because of the way most LEDs are run, the heat shrink usually goes right up to. Can I get this to focus? The heat shrink usually goes right up to the LED itself. So when you try and bend it, you get this bigger bend. It's really hard to get a 90-degree bend. I was worried about breaking off one of the feet of the LED itself. But the way this is designed, I get to focus, the way this is designed, they actually put the heat shrink a little farther down so they can get that actual 90-degree bend on that, and I think that is super cool. It is a Rolife kit, so we're going to have a couple pre-cut pieces with the sides colored. I always like to see that because it means that well, it's going to be a little bit less work for me, and those edge painting, especially when they're lighter colors, they're going to be a nice even coating. We have some plastic pieces in here, which we don't see too often in a Book Nook. All right, these plastic runners will be familiar to anyone who's done a model kit before, like specifically like a Gundam model kit. So we have our hinges here, and this looks like a cannon. Oh, this is the body of the robot. Okay, so this is the robot. The robot's face, the rest of his head, his arms, and his body and legs. That's pretty cool with that. Does look like we have our locomotive. So our train is going to be here in two pieces like that. And then we have lots of other bits and bobs right here. Looks like a couple keys for toys. And then this is the conductor's little area for the train as well. We have our paper craft here, and it's just one sheet, so I'm not going to unwrap it. A couple like gift boxes with a bow on top. Is this a checkerboard, or I don't know what this is going to end up being, but One thing I always love to see on the back of Rolife Papercraft is you can see they have the lines etched into the paper, so it's pre-cut already, which means that when you go to fold those pieces, you're going to get a really good 90-degree fold. All right, we have our safety instructions and our icon guidebook there. We can get rid of those. And we'll take a look at our instruction manual. Now, even though it's newer, it does seem that we are looking at the slightly older style of instruction manual. There's nothing really wrong with this. I just don't love the layout. I think the wider, floppier book's a little harder to work with than a standard portrait style book. Also, it seems that they are, unlike the other two new ones that I've recently filmed, I don't know what order they're going to come out in, but you'll keep an eye out for the Halloween Candy House and the Oxygen Oasis. You'll see that at the beginning of each step, they show you all the pieces that you'll need for that specific step, so you can pull them all aside. That I kind of really like. So this seems to be more of a transitional kit here, but I do like they're using the selective colors versus the black and white pieces, rather pictures, so you really can focus on what part you're working on, rather than having it get lost in the build itself. All right, especially with something like this where there's so many elements in here, and we're adding it something kind of small. It's going to be good to have that contrast of the color versus the black and white. So let's get into the pieces itself. Remember, as we open this up, you're going to use our knife, and we're going to go in this diagonal pattern around the top, because we don't want to accidentally have the blade slip in between two pieces and scratch them up. One thing that I have really appreciated about Rolife through all my interactions with them, they really listened to the feedback of the community. One of the pieces of feedback was, you're not giving us enough of these tape squares. Even though they claim that they were giving more than we actually need, we always were saying we want more, and they really are giving us more. And I like to see that there's 3 sheets in here. I never use these glue dots. I think they're a little too thick personally. Well, usually I think they're too thick. So things tend to look like they're floating a little bit. Also, they're pink, so if they're not eclipsed by the piece, like if you're sticking something smaller, then you have like pink sticking out from underneath, and it just doesn't fit. We have our little sandpaper square, and we're going to sacrifice that to the Book Nook gods, and then we're going to take a look at our pieces. One thing that's important to keep in mind when you're taking a look at a Rolife kit, they like to use materials of different thicknesses to help shape their pieces. So when you take a look at their pieces, don't see thin and immediately think low quality, because it's not that they're cheaping out. They make a conscious design decision to use different materials to help flesh out their design. I personally like it. I understand that some people don't. When you're working with these thinner pieces, though, it's very important. Use your hobby knife, score the pieces to help them pop out cleanly without breaking. And another thing you'll notice is if you look up on the top here, you will see, can I get a good shot of it? Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. So if you look, they actually have like little relief cuts. So when you pop it out, you actually don't need to use that sandpaper as much. You don't need to use an X-Acto knife. Some people like that because it's less work. So if you're a beginner, it's a little easier. For other people, like that solid straight edge, it does leave a mark that's kind of hard to get out unless you're using like wood filler to fill stuff in, which most of us are not. We have our decal sheet. They get a little bubble in it, which kind of stinks, but it looks like the bubble, it looks like everything should be okay. It looks like the bubble's mostly in between the stickers. We got a cool ray gun sheet. And this is like the bottom of the bubblegum machine. Gumball machine, rather. So this is another style of piece that they commonly use. So we have like the stained thin wood style, and then we have the laminated style. So in this, a lot of kits, the QB tone shear Mini City, Fifi Joy, when they print graphics, they print them on the wood itself. Excuse me. Cute Rolife, they tend to, when they put graphics on a piece, they tend to print the graphics on a sheet of paper, and then the paper is laminated onto the wood. So you can see on the side, if we can get it to focus, it's kind of hard to tell, but this paper is laminated, which is why it gives you a nice matte finish. The downside to that is if you are trimming with an X-Acto knife or a sandpaper to smooth out the nubs, and you go into the paper a little bit, you are left with like a white edge that's really kind of hard to get rid of. So we have more of the stained wood here, lots of what look to be structural pieces. That makes sense. It's an older style toy store, so you're gonna have, you know, lots of shelving. This looks like it's going to be our back piece, and we do seem to be using the outline style of indexing. So we're going to be putting stuff on the wall, and these laser cut outlines tell you where the pieces go. And I really like what is a little uncharacteristic for a Rolife kit. They really are trying to put a little more texture into these things. There's a lot less solid color surfaces, and they have kind of been dabbling a little more in their complicated designs in terms of like their graphics. So we have some windows. So yeah, this is the window for the front door and the kind of like the train compartment on top. Some really nice cardstock for some paper crafting here. I do believe that these wings are going to go on this dragon. We got action figures. An action figure in a package. Anybody recognize this action figure? Is this from a real toy? So that's cool. And then, so this is what I was talking about. So Rolife typically, right, less, but not none of this, more of this. Primary solid colors with some detailing and some engraving. And I've always been a big fan of that aesthetic. I think they are the best way to say it would be an economy of design. So they only put in what they need to put in to get their point across, and I just appreciate that. We have, again, some of the more stained wood pieces, and then we have more paper craft pieces. Okay, with these paper craft, guys, it's very important to use your knife to cut the connection points before trying to push these out. Especially with paper craft, you're going to get rips, you're going to get creases that you can't get rid of. All right, so cut them out. It's important. All right, more of this laminated stuff with this beautiful patterning work. So this is going to be a very busy kit for a Rolife kit, and I'm really happy to see them trying new things. They tried it a little with the Animal Carnival, with the Carnival Book Nook, and it's nice to see them kind of like leaning into that. Excuse me. Leaning into that new aesthetic, going outside their comfort zone a little bit. I haven't seen the cat. Has anyone seen the cat? I know there's a cat hidden here somewhere. There's a cat hidden in every Book Nook, especially a Rolife one. I like the little details, like the little rocket ship here, a little motorcycle, little tanker truck there. Let's make today a good old-fashioned play date. So, guys, this is the toy shop. Treasure Toy Shop by Rolife. It is a callback to a bygone era of cool toy stores that we just don't have anymore. A charm and an innocence that the world, frankly, could do with some more of. So, until then, this is Pluck the Bunny saying, good looking, good nooking. I'll see you around.